even though if our pricing and our offer sounds good to us, it makes sense to us because we talked about it. But we need to make sure it makes sense to them, because the last thing I want to do is like make another offer, not another offer, but make a, structure a new offer or pricing, whatever, and then we try to deliver it and it's just as confusing or doesn't make sense or whatever, right? So
Yeah, it's kind of like a balance, right? Because it's a lot easier to sell a customer once you've already sold them, right? So how can we basically get them in the door and start working with them and start creating value for them immediately, such that as the lifetime of the relationship with the customer kind of continues on, we continue to provide more value and we continue to deliver more, and on that front they're going to want more, and then our pricing just kind of reflects that, and so forth.
this is Super SaaS Bros with Cory and Jayde. Let's jump in. Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Super SaaS Bros. We are your hosts, Cory and Jayde. Jayde, you are back. You traveled a little bit and then you got stuck in Texas, and I think a really fun place. You want to tell us a little bit about how your trip went there?
Oh geez, yeah, got stuck. Air Canada went on strike, so we got stuck there for a few days. And the thing was, it was just like impossible to reach them. So we're like, how the heck are we gonna get out? And we're like, okay, so either one of two things is gonna happen. We either have to book another flight that's fully refundable, just in case they do come back to us and put us on another flight, then we can get a refund, right?
Yeah.
Or we just like bet and not do anything, and then just hope that they actually, because they didn't cancel the flight at this point. They were just like flights were canceling, and then there was news that they came to an agreement, but then they were still not going into work illegally, and we're like, okay, is this all gonna kind of come to a conclusion before the 18th, which is when we were supposed to leave? And we're like, do we take the risk? Do we not? And then finally Dana was able to get them on the call, get them on the phone, and they put us on another flight. So we left, instead of the 18th, we left yesterday. So we got back last night, finally. And dude, I am just so happy to just be home. It is a mission working on the road.
Yeah, just working on your one laptop screen is not ideal. But you met some really cool people.
Yeah.
Tell us about it.
Oh, dude. So we went out to Houston, Texas, and the purpose was to go to Sugar Land, which is about 40 minutes away, to a place called Alphaland. And if you don't know Alphaland is basically like a big Disney World for like fitness influencers, just people that just really love the gym. There's like 3 gyms there, a couple basketball courts, soccer fields, the sauna, the cold plunges, a whole cafeteria. It's just incredible. So
Nice.
we went there. We were there almost every day in Houston, and yeah, we met some incredible people. So if you're kind of familiar with like the Alphaland area, then you'll know Christian Guzman, who is the owner of Alphalete, Alphalete Athletics Apparel, and then Alphaland itself. And then there's also like Max Tuning, and Max Tuning was the owner of Sour Strips, who he recently just sold to Hershey's, that was incredible to meet him. And yeah, it's just like a bunch of, it's kind of different because here in Kelowna, BC, like the entrepreneurial hub here is pretty big. And then over there at Alphaland, it's also pretty big, but in very different regards, right? Like here, I think it's kind of more focused on, there's a lot of marketing and coaching here in Kelowna. And the AI is kind of growing. But over there, it's not really that. It's just like content creation and fitness is what we saw. I mean, we put ourselves in that environment, but that's like a lot of what it was. So, but yeah, we met Max Tuning. What an incredible dude, man. Just like sitting there talking to him about, I've been a fan of him for almost a decade and watching his videos for a very long time. And the guy has inspired me and motivated me in many ways, helped me with my mindset, helped me with like, just like things suck a lot sometimes in the world of entrepreneurship, and you go through these roller coasters, and there are times that we're going on it, and then I'll watch one of his videos and it's like his level of problems are, not to compare, but like I guess as you kind of grow and scale and get bigger, the level of problems obviously kind of follows that too. So I'm like watching him and I'm like, okay, like we're okay, you know, like
Yeah.
he's got like a bunch of people on payroll and he's got like a bunch of like obligations to like all these different like providers. And I was like, okay, so yeah, so what, anyway, just talking to him, which was incredible. I really just thanked him, you know, and just was able to just like show how appreciative I was to meet him and everything that he's done for me in my life. And then I met Christian Guzman, 2 days ago, and they were in the middle of a photo shoot, so it's kind of funny because we were like, how do we do this? Like, do we just like go up and like interrupt and stuff?
Yeah.
And I'm like, let's kind of like work out. Let's just go work out, and then we can kind of keep an eye on how the photo shoot's going because it was happening in the gym.
Yeah.
And we're like, okay, I think he's free. And it's funny because like the gym's huge, and you're looking around, and like everyone's just looking at him, you know. And I'm like, okay, so you know, are they gonna go say hi? What are they doing? And I think like they're all, but I'm like, okay, but I'm also one of these guys who's also just looking at him. I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna go say hi.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I found there was like a nice like slot where like he was just like chilling, and Dana, my fiance, and I just went over to him and talked to him, and oh man, he was just like so happy to just like talk to us, and again, just kind of just thanking him and for everything that he's done for me again, like his persistence, his grit, his mindset. Hey, this guy dreams so big. Like I'm looking around at Alphaland, I'm like, this guy's a year older than me, and I'm looking around at this place. I'm like, this guy built this place, you know. So it was really cool to see that, and I've you know when I'd watch his videos, it's really along the lines of just just dream big and just like there's no time to just think small and just like play small, and he's very of that. So I really look up to him in that regard. So yeah, I had the opportunity to thank him, and he was like super awesome to talk to and appreciative. So it was a good time, man. Yeah, we had a great time.
Dude, that's awesome, man. Um, it's one of those moments. It's like I would never know how I feel about meeting someone that I feel like has influenced my life so much. Mostly through social content or videos, right? Because sometimes you don't know if like they're going to be the that same person in real life, or if they were just putting on like a mask, right? So really cool that the person that you felt like inspired and influenced you for so many years, like lived up to be that person in person.
Yeah, he definitely did. Yeah, I can't say anything bad about him. And it was just like, it's kind of weird because I'm like, I know everything about you. Like, I feel like I know so much about you and what you're doing and like your day to day. And I've seen you kind of grow over the past 10 years. And
Yeah.
I just want to go to him and be like, yo, what's up, dude? Like, you don't know me because I know you. Like, we're supposed to be best friends. You know what I mean? So, yeah. So it was, and I've never really met someone like that. Well, I guess of that caliber who's just made such a big impact on my life. So, yeah,
Cool.
it was a good time, man. But yeah, we also spent a lot of time there, obviously working on the road, which isn't fun, but it is what it is. And I think, something to be said about working on the road is like it's cool and all, but like to just be back home and to just have like your setup and be in your environment, it's just like my keyboard, my mat, like my whole like where everything is. I just feel like I'm just like a lot faster. So I'm super happy to be home. But yeah, it was a lot of fun working on the road. I think we were like, and while I was on the road, we were facing this challenge of like pricing, right? And trying to figure out our pricing model and diving into that, which was a lot of fun, which is still a lot of fun because we're still trying to like flush it out.
Yep.
But yeah, I kind of wish like maybe the conversations may have been a little easier if I was just back home and I wasn't like kind of going everywhere. But
Yeah.
I think, for the past, let's call it 8 months of really working with our pricing and trying to make sure that we're really creating like a no-brainer offer for our clients has really, I mean, we're a lot further than we've ever been, I'd say. And I think like we're really
100%.
understanding like what's happening in the market and how we can compare and be competitive against it. So that's really exciting to me.
Yeah, man. It's been fun having these conversations about the pricing, but our big thing was always like how do we change it from like a race to the bottom to just like around value, right? And then offer that just like people just love, and they, you know, they would be stupid to say no to, right? So, but it's been good. But I hear you, man. I like working at coffee shops and stuff like that. But when I'm like taking a lot of calls, trying to do a lot of work, it's a ton of distractions. And for you, I know you love to have like your blind, I can see your blinds closed in the background, right? And just like have like a little bit of a dark room, pure focus. So to me, that was probably like, yeah, yeah. So it's probably like a little chaotic for you to have like a shit ton of distractions like every single day for God, however long you were gone. But yeah, yeah, but yeah. Speaking of no-brainer offers, the $100 million money models book launch. I know you also went to the live event, and it was literally like multiple days that he was doing it. Like, what a commitment! Just an absolute masterclass in marketing, in a launch webinar, all combined. Just like I've never seen someone give so much goddamn value out of like a few days of work, but like, you know, the lead up to it. How did you feel about it? Because I thought it was crazy.
Oh, I think he's the MJ of marketing of our time right now.
Yeah.
That's just, yeah, put it short and sweet. He's just like the Michael Jordan of marketing.
I started listening to the $100 million money models because like he actually just posted the audiobook on his podcast, the game. Like he's just everything's for free for him. Like, but this guy made like $100 million just on this like one launch anyway. But yeah, I started listening to it. It's good so far, I would say. I'm still into like the first chapter because I literally just started listening to it this morning. But I very much am someone that like I love to actually read, even if I'm listening to the audiobook. So I'm waiting for my copy to come in. And I'm excited as well too for the lost chapters to come in as well too. So that's pretty cool. So it's just like so much stuff to digest that I'm excited to, because I loved the first two books of his. They were super valuable. I go back to them a decent amount. So yeah, I'll be pumped to actually fully read through it. It'll be good.
Yeah. Do you know anyone that's bought the playbook?
Oh yeah, like the 5K or 6K package or whatever it was, like buy the 200 books to donate essentially, plus get all the playbooks. Yeah, quite a few actually people that I know. Some people that bought it twice. Yeah, I know quite a few people that have bought it. Apparently, the playbooks and the AI is actually like very useful. But yeah, several people that I know have bought it, which is crazy. What a strategy!
Yeah. I almost bought it. I was very, very close to buying it. Yeah. And then I was talking to my friend while the event was happening, and he's like, dude, just buy it. And I'm like, why? He's like, dude, I just got this because he just bought it, and he's like, I have the AI and it's incredible. And I'm like, why? What's so great about it? And he was telling me, and I'm like, okay, cool. And in my head, I'm like, it's probably is super, super valuable. Like, I'm sure it is super valuable. But I also think like as soon as Money Models is released and it's in the public, yeah, and these playbooks are released and it's in the public, GPT-5 is going to know about it. Like someone is going to put it up and train them all, or it's just going to be public knowledge. And yeah, but it was really cool to watch him kind of do his thing. I was looking forward to it all week, so I was really excited about it.
And we're back, but we're using a different camera. So, you know, in case anyone was looking and now my camera angle is different, it is because my main camera died because I was recording a lot today. So, anyway.
Use your phone to record?
Yeah, I do. I use the continuity camera. But I've been also playing with, I have a GoPro Hero 10. And I played around with it using it as a webcam, but I also record a lot sometimes in not good lighting, and this thing is not good when there's not a lot of light. So, but anyway.
Yeah, but I think, yeah, with the money model stuff, I think it's super dope. I think it's coming at the perfect time for us because we've been talking about pricing, and I really love like the whole like his upsell, downsell, continuity, activation. Like it's everything we kind of talked about.
Absolutely.
So, and I think like with our pricing too, you know, one of the things that we're learning is like Cory just said, it is a race to the bottom, right? And in order for us to create enterprise value in this company, right, we obviously need some recurring revenue and we need like sustainability, and we don't really want to kind of worry about where our next source of revenue is coming from. So what we've been exploring with, and this is kind of like off Hormozy's mind models too, is like this idea of like continuity, or like what we've been calling like either like a partnership or a retainer, or even like this idea of insurance inside our pricing, which is really cool. So how do we basically get our how do we basically work with certain small businesses for a smaller price point that they are not, scared of, and they find is very reasonable, and then we kind of continue to build out with them on that front. But more so, we're really interested in building like a partnership, right? As us being their either development partner or growth partner, and this is something that we've been really diving into and experimenting with a lot, which we love. And this is something that we've always kind of talked about since like starting Summit on building projects with the idea of partnerships. And I think we're just seeing a lot more validation for that right now, which is really cool.
Yeah, it's a tough one. And even like, as we figure it out too, like I think to give the audience some perspective on and context behind what we're talking about, like you, me, and then our other business partner Scott, like we chatted right about a proposal we were working on, about the pricing, about like how we wanted to frame the offer, and I think we felt pretty good about it. Like we were like, yeah, this sounds good. And then the delivery was difficult, right? Like it came across as confusing, and that is not something that we want for our clients. We want it to be simple, understandable, and I think you mentioned it before too, like after like kind of we debriefed a bit about it and got our feedback, it's like we don't want our potential clients and prospects to be asking questions that they shouldn't be asking. It should be already answered and easy and like fully understandable. So that's kind of a lesson that we're trying to learn through, like, even though if our pricing and our offer sounds good to us, it makes sense to us because we talked about it, but we need to make sure it makes sense to them. And so, anyway, so that's something that we're working through right now, is making sure that it makes sense to them, especially on the delivery. Because the last thing I want to do is like make another offer, not another offer, but make structure a new offer or pricing, whatever, and then we try to deliver it and it's just as confusing or doesn't make sense or whatever, right? So
yeah, it's kind of like a balance, right? Because it's a lot easier to sell a customer once you've already sold them, right? So how can we basically get them in the door and start working with them and start creating value for them immediately, such that as the lifetime of the relationship with the customer kind of continues on, we continue to provide more value and we continue to deliver more, and on that front they're going to want more, and then our pricing just kind of reflects that and so forth. So yeah, and this actually just kind of goes back to Hormozy's continuity thing again. So good.
so much gold in his content. So
And then downselling too, right? Like that was really cool. And talking about that on like, here is basically your dream offer. And if it's not something that or maybe I shouldn't call it a dream offer, but basically here's like our offer. And if it is not your dream offer, how do we downsell to create your dream offer? That's how I want to say that. Yeah. Which is really cool.
It's super, super interesting, it's really cool because I think in his earlier books, in his offer books, when he initially talked about downselling in that book, I think it was mostly like, don't do it. But this was an interesting take on how to do it the right way. So I'm curious to see in his lost chapters too, see if he mentions it's something a little different, because there's chapters from like all across that series. And so it's interesting, his evolution of downselling, right? But yeah, super cool, man. Super cool. So sorry folks that are listening, we didn't get the 200 books to donate, but the next time something like that happens, one of us will jump on it, and we will spread the joy like that.
Yeah, I think it's like I knew exactly what Hormozy was doing. Obviously, the book is just a lead magnet to kind of come into his core offer, which is amazing. And I'm really, really, really excited for the future of our business and the future of how we decide to price things out and the relationships that we're building and the structures and pricing offers that we're creating. So yeah.
Cool, man. And one last thing, like we don't have to actually talk about this or not, but you mentioned you wanted to do a newsletter.
Oh, we're doing a newsletter. It's not a want. You guys need to understand everything that's going on in our space, right? And it's just another form of delivery for you guys. So we've got our podcast, right? Cory's creating a bunch of awesome content on LinkedIn, on both Six Summit and his personal stuff. I've got some YouTube stuff going, and the newsletters just need to be a thing. It's just we haven't done it, and we should have been doing it. So this is my promise to you guys that I would like to have a structured newsletter that is essentially a summary of everything that has been going on over the past week that we can then even quickly debrief about in this podcast. If you guys haven't subscribed to the newsletter or you guys haven't got the newsletter, haven't had a chance to read the newsletter, it is happening. So
I love it. I love it. We're diving deep and committing hard to like this, content and a content game and providing a ton of value by sharing, what's going on in our lives, what's going on in the business. So yeah, and I'm super stoked too. Beginning of this year, I was doing a lot of like Instagram, and then I paused, and I'm getting back into it, and I finally committed. Look, I got myself a little DJI mic. So I'm gonna get back to creating some content on Instagram, and posting our podcast on Instagram as well too. Like shorter clips of really impactful stuff. And it could be clips as we talk about the newsletter and stuff like that too. So, we're committing to it across different ways, across different social channels. So there's so many ways that you guys will be able to consume our content and information and just get value in whatever way you want. So
totally. Yeah. I got to come up with a name for the newsletter. I don't know if it's like Summit AI or something like that. I think there's already a Summit AI, but I'll come up with something. Or if you guys have suggestions on what you'd like the newsletter to be called, let us know. Send us an email, leave a comment, and yeah.
Little wrap up for today. So it's good to have you back, man. And thank you everyone for listening to another episode of Super SaaS Bros. You can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube. Like, comment, subscribe, leave a review. 5 stars would be fantastic. As Jayde always says, we don't know what it does, but we think it helps. And we will see you guys next week.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Thank you for listening to another episode of Super SaaS Bros with Cory and Jayde. We'll see you next time.